So I've decided I'm no longer referring to my fans and followers as Moffin Stans. Now you are all part of the Mafia, MOFFIA. So welcome to the Mafia. This is our thing. This is our own version of Cosa Nostra, only instead of killing people with weapons, we're going to kill them with kindness. Oh, fuck, I'm such a dork. Anyway, so I took a module that no one cared about in hardware form and made a digital version of it so that no one can care about it in digital form. And this module is called DitDit. It is a Morse code text-to-gate sequencer. So instead of generating the sounds of Morse codes, you type in words and you have those rhythms as gate patterns. You can do traditional Morse code with them, or you can do more experimental synthesis stuff with them, like make rhythms or make music with them. I retained all of the features from the hardware version in the digital one. So if you've ever wanted to experiment with a DitDit and you don't own one in hardware, this is a great opportunity to get a feel for what it's like. Obviously, the hardware one is much more fun because it's in a hardware environment and lets you experiment with really cool things in real time. But that being said, all of the features from the hardware one are in here. Some of them are in the context menu in the right click. But I tried to retain as much of the core functionality as I could. So for starters, you just click here and you type. I'm going to type the word hello. You plug in a gate. And right now I have the Morse output here, which is the whole Morse code, doing a traditional Morse code sequence, cutting a sine wave on and off. So I push start. And here's the Morse code up here. And it's outputting that signal here. And if you right-click on the module, you'll see there's all these settings here. So you can turn looping on and off. So it'll like play through once and then stop. You turn it back on and then reset it and it'll keep going. There are different settings for letter spacing and word spacing. So you can turn off the gaps between the letters if you want to. If you want it to just run straight through. If there were words like Hello Mafia. See, there's a space there. You can turn that off. And you can also change the DitDit ratio from 3:1 to 2:1. So all these settings change how it works. And I've done pretty in-depth videos online talking about all of these things, but the short version of it is that there's an inherent kind of odd meter to Morse code because of the letter and word spacings. So there is a 3-pulse space between each letter, and there's a 5-pulse space between each word. So when you use it in a musical context, that creates really weird rapping rhythms and stuff. And the DitDit ratio is how long the dashes are versus the dits. So normally it's 3:1, which is kind of like 3 dits to 1, or 3 dits for a da to 1 dit, which creates a kind of triplet feel. And if you switch it to 2:1, it's more of an even feel. I know this is kind of dense and weird, but honestly, if you just mess with it, you'll get a much better sense of it. So I just want to show you just a quick example here of it triggering drums. So here's the Morse pattern just so you can hear it. And we have separate outputs for the dots and dashes here. So one of them is controlling the kick and one of them is controlling the snare. And I have this hi-hat here, which is the main clock. So you'll hear these really funky, weird rhythms. And if we mess with the ratios and stuff, you'll start to hear it gets even weirder. So I'm going to switch from 2:1 to 3:1. I'm going to turn letter spacing off, so now it's just going to blast through all the letters without the rests. It kind of reminds me of the opening track to Untilted by Audiker. That ka ka ka. So yeah, where this gets really fun is just like on the original one, you can save things to memory slots. So here, you see how it says save to slot in the context menu here? So I can save hello to slot 1. And see it says hello down here. And then I can make another one and write, gabagool. And I can save that to slot 2. And I'll do Moffinzief to slot 3. And what you can do, just like on the original one, is you can either load them like this from a menu, but on the original one, the hotkeys on the keyboard, the numbers at the top of the keyboard, you can use to hot swap between the different patterns. So you can kind of create these cool sequences that you can play live. So if I push 1, it'll play hello. If I push 2, it'll play gabagool. And if I push 3, it'll play Moffinzief. So I'm going to start with Moffinzief is on 3. And then if I want to switch, I'm going to switch to gabagool. And now I'm going to switch back to hello. And now I'm going to kind of randomly switch between all 3 of them. So you get the point. It's a super experimental and weird module, but believe it or not, it actually does come up with some pretty cool rhythms that you probably wouldn't do on your own, because who the hell thinks of music in Morse code? Yeah. So that's DitDit. It's part of version 2.6, which I did a lot of stuff to the library. So it's a dense update. There's some really cool stuff in it. So watch all the videos I'm putting out over the next month, and I'll talk about all these. Peace out. Enjoy springtime, at least if you're in North America. I don't know where you're watching this from.